What is good, YouTube? With the new information that is coming out of battle for Azeroth, or people are getting from the beta, I think they've got an alpha version going on there. So we're getting more and more information, right? And from this, Wowhead has put together a talent calculator that we can play around with. If you haven't seen one of these before, we'll just check out Druid initially for my Druid people out there, because I do main a Druid. You can go to it, such as this, and look. It looks exactly like it would in-game, and you can practice or mess around with builds, right? Now, the special thing with this is that because it's the new expansion, any changes that they have, you can already see how they're going to lay it out and choose your class abilities from here. The only thing I want to point out with Druid is, because as you can see, everything looks pretty much the same except for this, right? Where is Displacer Beast? Now, I know I clicked on Feral and Wild Charge because their melee is normally the thing you want to go, or not Renewal if you're playing some PvE or doing duels and things like that. But Displacer is gone, and for Boomies, this is really crucial. This is a second dash, right? Activates cat form and increases movement speed by 200%, reducing gradually over 4 seconds. I'm going to be honest, that is shit. That is not good compared to Displacer if you want to jump in and get a clone or a bash and get out. So Boomy's slight nerf on that tier. But what I really want to focus on today, and what the video is probably titled, is the Hunter. So I messed around with it the other day just to see what classes are really getting tweaked. And other than assassination rogues, or even sub, I think, they have some good changes, so feel free to check out those yourself. But in this video, we're just going to talk about hunters, because from the classes that I am familiar with, they seem to be getting one of the biggest overhauls compared to any other class. Now, I don't, know Warlock and that well. I'm not up to date with it. So maybe there is some other classes that have some crazy changes going on. But I feel like Hunter has undergone some changes. So we'll look at both Marksman and BM, okay? Because I don't know Survivals who are also. We have Careful Aim, Precise Shots, which is new if I'm not mistaken. When aim shot activates your Hunter's Mark, the cost of all your abilities is reduced by 50% for 5 seconds. So really sustainable focus saver there, I guess, right? And then Murder of Crows is on the first tier. That is a big change, okay? That's normally down here at level 90. So Murder of the Crows, it looks... Murder of the Crows, eh? Looks like it's pretty much the same, although it's only physical damage over 15 seconds. Can't remember exactly what the normal number is right now. But that is a big change, right? And I feel like it's going to be out of these two that we talk about. Aim Shot has a chance to deal 200% bonus damage to targets who are above 80% health or below 20% health. So even Careful Aim itself actually has had a buff. Normally it's only if they're over 80% health. But now that also works as like a half decent kill shot. If they're under 20% health, very low pool there, Aim Shot has a chance to deal double damage. So that first tier is actually quite hard to choose from. I feel like Careful Aim might be a fun choice there. If not, if you run out of focus, this one, or Murder of Crows. Let's just say in this makeshift build here, we go with Careful Aim. Moving on to the next tier, we have Volley. Looks exactly like, or very similar to the current Volley, which is also down the bottom, I think. And I'm not the biggest fan of that ability. It's just like a passive kind of thing, except this one is about when you multi-shot, you have a chance to cause Volley, okay? I think normally Volley just procs off anything. Sentinel is the second ability to choose in this one. When Aim Shot activates Hunter's Mark, a Sentinel swoops into battle, applying Hunter's Mark to all other targets. So that's a cool animation to something that could be crucial or cool in PvP. Next we have Explosive Shot. Fires a slow-moving munition directly forward, and you have to click it to blow it up a second time. So this is quite a skilled ability. Also, if you have any latency, steer away from this one because they're not going to be where you think they are, and then when you blow it up, you think you hit directly on their forehead, but in reality, they're around the corner. Okay, so could be fun. If it does enough damage, we don't know what numbers are exactly going to be like because everything's getting adjusted, health pools and everything like that. If it does a heap of damage, could be good. If not, Sentinel, if you want to have like AoE spread pressure because people are going to be getting Hunter's Marks. Or Volleys, no one's going to multi-shot really, I feel like, in like Arena. Might be good in BGs, but I guess Sentinel is probably what we're going to go with for the tier 2. Now we have Trailblazer. Your movement speed is increased by 30% anytime you have not attacked for 3 seconds. You don't really want to be not attacking for 3 seconds unless you're in CC. You'll get this buff every time. Swiftmen, casting aim shot reduces the cooldown of aspect of the cheetah by 10 seconds per cast. This is looking pretty promising to be able to boost around the map a lot because aim shot, you're casting that all the time unless Hunter plays completely differently, which means you are going to be sprinting around a lot if every single aimed shot you cast reduces this cooldown. Now 10 seconds to me sounds too big. I'm feeling like they might change that number, but like this is sounding like a pretty solid choice. Finally, in this tier, camo or camouflage, you blend into the surroundings and gain stealth for 1 minute. Okay, so you heal white while in this. Could be great if you don't have any bleeds on you, because if you try and go stealth and you have anything on you that's going to tick and do damage, it's going to knock you out of it. Pretty much cancelling that heal. You'll get what, 2%? Maybe it ticks every 3 seconds, so you get two ticks of healing, so 4% heal every 1 minute. Not really that good. Swiftmen, I think, is the talent to go in this one, and aspect of the cheetah is going to be getting used a lot. Level 60 choices. Streamline, rapid fire now lasts an additional 2 seconds. Okay, whatever. Steady focus. Using steady shot reduces the cast time of steady shot by 0.25 seconds up to 4 times. Using any other shot removes this effect. If you're going to spam up some steady shots, that's good. If not, quick draw. When you cast Hunter's Mark, your next 3 quick shots within 20 seconds will cost no focus. To me, not exactly sure how Hunter's going to play it, but that sounds like a good damage dealer, a good continuous damage dealer, right? Every time you get Hunter's Mark up or cast it, 3 quick shots, no focus, and you'll probably use them within 20 seconds. So I'm thinking this one here, not exactly sure though until the expansion drops really. Natural Mending, and a new one if I'm not mistaken. Exhilaration heals you for an additional 20%. Alright, that's a pretty solid chunk of your max health over 10 seconds. Pretty decent heal. Post haste is on this now though, so I've always run with post haste. And now we have to choose, and this is a pretty nasty one to choose between, because you choose between Binding Shot, something I also like to use all the time on my Hunter, Post Haste, without a doubt I use this all the time, if not I change it to the web one, if I have to deal with melee all the time, or an extra 20% healing on your Exhilaration. That is probably the hardest choice so far. I think the first tier was also up there, but this one might just take the cake on it and be even harder. So, do we want a bigger heal? Do we want to be able to get away from people, or do we want the stun? I'm thinking Blinding Shot's going to be a solid choice here, but this could be completely up to the situation or whoever you're versing, or whatever you feel like doing in a battleground. Could be completely up to you. Moving on to the last 2 rows, we have Bombardier. I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably not. Probably just butchered it. Bombardment now also increases the damage of your next aim shot or rapid fire by 25%. Rapid killing. Each extra target that aim shot hits during bombardment reduces the cooldown of Hunter's Mark by 1 second, and each ricochet of rapid fire during bombardment. Okay, so reduction on cooldown, right? So far, this one sounds better to me. Or barrage. So, With this current setup, let's just take a second and have a look here. You can run Barrage and Murder of Crows in the same spec with Binding Shot. That to me sounds pretty nasty to be getting hit by both of those at the same time while a hunter's bursting. And it sounds kind of fun also. But is it going to be the best thing here? Barrage has been funny. Depending on how the numbers hit, sometimes it can be one of the best choices. But if they nerf it enough, then people steer away from it. But in saying that, we've always normally had to choose between Murder of Crows and Barrage. So you see why I think Hunter's been overhauled somewhat pretty decently. Moving on though, I think we'll pick Bombardier. I'm not even going to try and say that anymore. But this one, because it boosts your aim shot damage by 25%, okay? Running that also with careful aim, right? And they're getting in kill shot range. Aim shot can double damage and then you boost it by 25%. I'm pretty sure they're going to stack. But I can see like a technical lineup of abilities here in order to land kills, which will feel very rewarding. So, the last here. Calling the shots. Casting Quick Shot reduces the cooldown of Hunter's Mark by 2 seconds. Lock and Load. Your ranged auto attacks have an 8% chance to trigger Lock and Load, causing aim shots to be instant and no focus. Lock and Load has always been one of those really nice talents. Or Piercing Shot, the powerful shot that hits a lot and can hit someone in between you and the target. I like running Piercing Shot, but it's never been that crazy good, you know? So probably Lock and Load for an overall setup, and that's what I'm playing with at the moment. Let me know what your choices are in the description below and why you think it will be a good spec choice. Also, let me know what you think of Hunter being redesigned in the way that it is. Thanks heaps for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're planning to, and I will see you guys next time.